are here to debate the ethics of genetically modifying babies using CRISPR technology. On one side, we have CRISPR advocate Jacob Radford, and on the other, we have Kayla Del Pino representing the opposition to gene modification in humans. CRISPR technology has been used to create disease-resistant plants that grow faster and increasing crop yield while decreasing the amount of space used. This same technology is now being debated on whether or not it is ethical to implement into the genetics of humans in order to prevent disease. Now let's get to the debate.
The first problem with utilizing CRISPR technology on humans is the question of where to draw the line. Ideally, creating a society free of disease sounds like a good idea on the surface. However, do we stop using this technology at incurable diseases? Or at hereditary diseases? Diseases in general? Or do we allow prospective parents to design their baby with any physical or genetic characteristics that they choose?
Well, why would we not want to create a disease-free society? Living in a world where no one suffers from debilitating diseases like cancer, HIV, or measles sounds pretty ideal. Not to mention, we live in a society that strives for perfection, so why should genetically modifying babies to create the perfect human be illegal?
Not that wanting a perfect child is a crime, but when put into a societal scale, this idea turns very bad very quickly. Because this highly experimental and incredibly expensive option for genetically modified babies, it would only be given to the extremely wealthy. Given this circumstance, the wealthy class would be able to perfect their children in order to maintain higher intellect, stronger bodies, and more attractive features. This would further the divide between the world's upper and lower classes.
Don't we already have a divide between the upper and lower classes because the wealthy are able to afford experimental drugs and clinical trials that insurance does not cover? Plus, just like with cell phones, as CRISPR technology advances and becomes used by more people, it would ultimately end up becoming more affordable and in turn more available to those lower class families. Therefore, the class division it would initially create would soon be eradicated.
While the eradication may occur, there's no way to accurately predict how long it would take for this to occur, or if an abuse of power by the upper class would happen before the gap was bridged. Additionally, even if the parents agree to these modifications, they are taking away all of the child's bodily autonomy. This is one of the 4 pillars of ethics, and it calls for the right to choose what happens to your body.
Well, children don't even have complete autonomy over their body until they turn 18. Not to mention, it's not like a fetus gave consent to their parents for them to conceive it. So if you talk about it in those terms, aren't all children denied that pillar of ethics for at least 18 years? And on top of that, how is it any different from naturally conceiving a child if it's impossible for the fetus to even give consent to either or?
While the said fetus that is conceived by the parents does not have any consent on being created, as an adult they will have consent on who they will conceive a child with. These genetically modified children will pass traits down their germline, which has not given any consent for the traits. While these traits are anticipated to be positive, they can possibly have negative side effects that will be passed down.
While that is true, a naturally conceived child has just an equal as likely a chance of inheriting negative traits as a genetically modified child.
If that's the case, then why is there a need to even genetically modify children in the first place? As I had stated before, the idea of having a perfect society sounds appealing. However, we have no idea of the negative ramifications that would come from implementing this technology. Furthermore, the negative risks that are associated with modifying humans outweigh the slim chance that there would be minimal negative effects of a widespread use of this method.
Well, we do have to remember that a lot of this is speculative since it's never been experimentally tested on a wide scale before on humans. What are your thoughts on looking further into this method of reproduction?
I do not believe that it should be looked into further as it applies to humans. As it is, our world is already overpopulated, so utilizing this technology would cause the population to continue to rise, further divide society, and create unforeseen